What's up, dirty plant hoes and all you dirty plant enthusiasts out there? It is I, Rachel, your plant madam, and it's been a minute since I have uploaded a video, and I am painfully aware of that. And I don't really even know where to begin, like, explaining to you guys where I've been. Because, okay, give me the chew toy, because that's not gonna work for me during filming. Okay, so at first, when I wasn't uploading, I think I was just kind of taking a little mental vacation, a little break. I've been known to do that a week or two at a time on my channel, and it's not really a big deal. And I don't know, I guess I just kind of, like, a couple weeks turned into a couple more, and then we had a trip scheduled to go to Mexico. Me and Casey had a trip scheduled, and it was the day after my birthday, and I was really excited about it. And you guys know how worked up, if you've been watching me for a long time, you know that I get, like, really anxious and worked up for trips like that. So the time I took off was, like, leading up into that trip, and I was, like, packing like crazy and, like, ordering bathing suits and, like, stressing about being on an airplane, because I haven't been on an airplane since I was a kid, and you guys know how, like, extremely stressful all of that is for me. But I did have a good time, and obviously everything went well, because here I am talking to you right now. Winston. So anyways, right before I don't even know, like, how to talk to you guys about this, but so right before I went to Mexico, I had and I'm going to tell you all this stuff because I want you to, not because, oh God, I'm going to tell you all this stuff, and it's not only because I'm a chronic oversharer. It's because I don't want the same thing to potentially happen to any of you, any of my viewers out there, because I know most of the viewers that I have are women between the ages of, like, 30 and 45 years old, which is the perfect age group for me to talk to you guys about this. So right before I went to Mexico, I had a pap smear, and I haven't had a pap smear. Trigger warning, we're going to talk about health in some uncomfortable situations, okay? And if you're not ready for that right now, you can click off the video and you can come back to it later. I'm not going to go severely in depth about anything either. I hadn't had like a general health checkup in a long time. I have a lot of doctor anxiety. I had a really horrific experience with a doctor this year after having doctor anxiety and, like, overcoming it and going to start the journey of, like, getting my yearly exams in order and stuff like that. There was a yelling incident between me and a primary care physician, which is, like, the worst case scenario. And it actually happened. What my biggest fears actually happened. So, what a mess. And then I moved myself over to a new primary care physician who I love. I've never had a problem with a doctor before in my life before that one experience. But anyways, I finally got a pap smear scheduled, and I probably hadn't had a pap smear in about a decade. Okay. I don't like the doctor's office. Who does? So I just generally avoided it. And I feel like I'm a pretty healthy person. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a lot of health issues. I didn't have any symptoms of anything, like, being wrong. Like, I wasn't in pain. I felt pretty good. Let's just put it like that. So that was, like, right. I had the pap smear, and then I left and went on my trip to Mexico and had a wonderful time. And I came back and I wanted to make a video and, like, debrief and be like, because I know this channel is about houseplants, but while I'm taking care of my houseplants, Winston, you got to not be so loud. But while I'm caring for my houseplants, I tell you guys about stuff. Like, you guys know that I have like battle with psoriasis and stuff. So this might seem like TMI, but we're getting somewhere. Anyways, I just couldn't mentally come around to like making a video. I don't know why, you guys. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, I don't know why. And I'm not taking the best care of my plants right now. Nor was I, like, before the trip to Mexico. Like, you would think that I would have been like really hardcore into like making sure everything was like vacation proofed and making sure everything was watered before I left and like really being anal about it, but I just wasn't. I don't know why, but I was just really mentally checked out from houseplants. It was like a weird sort of foreshadowing to other things that were going to happen. They're kind of in shambles, but you would be really shocked at like how many of them have survived the just straight up abuse and neglect that's happened over the past 2 months, I would say. You would be surprised how many things are still alive, but a lot of stuff's dead. So I'm just going to prepare you guys for that right now. This is probably why I haven't filmed, because I'm still like processing. Before I left for Cancun, I got a phone call from the doctor's office that my pap smear was abnormal. And that's, not a big deal. It happens a lot. Pap smears be abnormal, Usually it's just like no big deal or whatever. Settle. So I made a appointment at a gynecologist, and so that they could go check out abnormal pap smear. And I just had a really bad feeling about it. I had a really bad feeling about it. So what they did is called a colposcopy. I think I'm saying that right. It's been a minute since it happened. But which is where they go in and they will use a solution that kind of highlights whatever is going on in there, and they'll take a sample to send off to the lab. They'll take a sample to send off to the lab, and then they'll tell you if something's going on with the sample or not. And when I had the colposcopy, I had a great doctor. He was a male gynecologist. He's still my gynecologist now. I won't say his name for obviously privacy reasons, but it was just a really terrifying experience. And his nurse and he had a great bedside manner. Like, everything went really well, but it was just, the procedure was uncomfortable, and the sample, when they took the sample, that was uncomfortable, and it did cause a lot of like really crazy cramping and things like that were pretty uncomfortable. It wasn't very long after that colposcopy or whatever it's called. It wasn't very long after that I got the results that they had found some bad cells. I'll put the words down here because I don't like to say it out loud, because I don't want to claim those things over my body. I don't want to proclaim that. Do you know what I'm saying? But the test results were not favorable. So they wanted to get me in right away for outpatient surgery, which is for a procedure called a cold knife conization, which is where they go into your cervix and they will actually cut out the bad cells. And then you have to have that further sent on to pathology, where if you get, some disappointing results on that, then you have to actually go talk to an oncologist, a gynecology oncologist. So I had my procedure done. I had my outpatient procedure done about 11 days ago. Got my results back and everything is in the clear. But like my test results of what they took out of me and tested, there's no more bad cells inside of me. As far as we can tell so far, it's been taken care of. And in 3 months, I will have to go back to my gynecologist to get checked up again, to continue to stay on top of my care to make sure that nothing pops up again. What happened was extremely disturbing and scary, and by the grace of God, I am healed, and I don't have any more bad cells in me or anything. I have a way to talk to you guys about the importance of getting your annual pap smear. I don't know how preventable my situation would have been, but I know that I should have been going and being seen more than what I have, like definitely more than what I have. And I'm actually really grateful there was a solution for what was going on with me, and that it hadn't progressed so far that we didn't have a solution, because a lot of women have to have hysterectomies. Like, I was staring straight down the barrel of a hysterectomy, not just a regular old hysterectomy either, something called a radical hysterectomy. And thank you, Jesus, that didn't have to be the case. It's like 11 days since I had the conization procedure, and I'm still very tender. I'm still bleeding, which is weird to tell the internet, but I know someone else out there is watching this video right now, and they're probably like, I need to go get my pap, and then you may go through something like this, and you'll want to come back and watch this video and be like, what were her symptoms, or, whatever. Which, to be honest with you, I didn't have any symptoms. So that's just a really scary part about this whole thing. Like, I didn't have spotting. I didn't have the weird, bleeding in between periods. Like, I didn't have any of that. Like, I didn't have any pain during intercourse. I didn't have nothing. Like, none of that happened. Like, I was just bebopping and scatting. You guys know, working out, eating my protein, trying to get jacked, and this was just like getting my yearly pap smear was just like all part of that, all part of getting my health checked out. And I had no idea that I would get an abnormal result, followed by an abnormal, why can't I think of that word? Followed by an abnormal sample, followed by an outpatient surgery. I definitely did not see that coming. So, thank you guys for being so patient with me during this time that I've been gone. Like, when I first was gone, it wasn't because of like any kind of health issues or anything. I had just kind of like oddly, weirdly, like just mentally stepped away from it all, which rolled into some really serious stuff that was going on in my life, which I'm trying to heal up from now. So it was just like you're catching me at a very strange point in my life, if you know what I mean. Thank you to my members who have stuck around through this 2 months of non-tent that I have been putting out. And when I do get back to putting out some houseplant content, things are gonna look really rough around here. And just like, I appreciate you all being understanding of the fact that part of it was my fault and kind of part of it wasn't my fault. And I'm definitely at this point, still feeling like tender and stuff. I'm not hauling gallons of water around, and I'm just really not fretting about it, to be honest with you. Maybe the next series of videos will be like plants that can make it through a depressive episode. And then just to add on to the craziness of it all, my stepson, Isaac, got married literally the day before yesterday. And we went to his wedding and celebrated. And his wife wore the wedding dress, my wedding dress that Casey, why can't I talk? And she wore my wedding dress from when Casey and I got married, and it looked so beautiful, and it was just so special to me. And it was like, And their wedding, which I didn't have a lot to do with like the planning and stuff, but it was like their wedding was like right on the heels of having the procedure and getting the good results and then having the wedding. And it was just a lot more, I don't know, everything's just been a lot more special. Also, Casey was super amazing through the whole thing and super supportive, and even took a picture of me while we were in the hospital when I was just really too scared to even breathe, you know, let alone take a selfie. So he was thinking that I might want to remember the moment, even though I was pretty sure I didn't ever want to think of it again in the moment. So he's been awesome, and I don't know, like, it's all good now. Everything's all good. And I've just been saying my prayers and thanking God every freaking day that it didn't go any further. I'm really glad that, that I did go get checked out. And if you know me or like me or, you know, respect me and you haven't gotten your pap smear, you know, if you haven't been taking care of your own health, if you haven't been going and getting those yearly tests, please go get your yearly tests, especially your feminine, you know, take care of your feminine stuff, you know, go get your stuff checked out, because it can be hella scary if you have to do some of the stuff that I had to do. But not to be like a super duper downer or anything. Winston, oh my God, the soundtrack of my life is your snoring. Anyways, like, I'm an emotional person anyways. Like, I'm a big old tit bag anyways. So I had a hard time getting through making this video today. I had to do a lot of pausing, but I really appreciate you guys being here and listening to my weird, completely incoherent storytelling. I'm really hoping to get back to doing regular plant content very soon. And I just really appreciate you guys' support. So I know that was a lot, and I know that was a lot for you to know about me, but I wanted you guys to know, like I said, so you can take care of your own stuff. We love you guys. Peace out. Later, taters. Bye. And now a big shout out to all of my dirty plant enthusiasts out there that are still hanging on. You guys are freaking awesome. Jay Lee, Stephanie Menzies, Casey Glidewell, Abby Gilbert, Hazel Foreman, Jessica Viola, Stephanie Bazella, Shay Bro, Melissa Hartog, Wesley Lemontino, Tiffany Wright, Perry Hope, Denver Homegirl, Amy Adwan, Fredo 19, Louise H, Victoria Fonseca, Ann Collins, Isabel Woodruff, J.S., The Plant Nook, Lulu's Leaves, Pups and Plants, David Sawyer, Mahoney McGrath, Mrs. McGrath, Bethany Estes, Bougie Panda, Lola Isabel, Amanda Jensen, Ashley Sexton, Ari Stardust, Trent Grolness, Ordinary Plant Girl, Showers ASMR, Vertigree Dreams, Gretchen Ward, Darren Hebbel, Safia Bahadir, Nikki Smoda, Kimberly Mossman, Jill Cunningham, Finner Lamb, Jake Rowe, Christy Bim, Jenna Maria, Houseplanty Goodness, and Heather Summers. And now for an extra dirty, extra nasty shout out for my #1 plant hose in my stable, my dirty plant hose, Andrew Wolf, Aaron Grant, The Plant Channel, Danny Ryan, KBS Greenhouse, Platitude Stern, Natural State Ashley, Karen Brackbill, Sammy Jo Ruby, Kate Christie, Thick Ginger, Victoria Olson, Bailey Branham, Will H., Alexandra Kennedy, Brianna Boswell, Jennifer Lee Johnson, Jessica M., Tim Burton, Jess Marvel, Hollis Good, Gab, Annie D., Spotted Oreo 10, Emma LaCroix, Kristen Williams, Kelly Costello, Botanicaz LLC, Heather Worrell, Wicked Witch, Roxy, Emily Cephalou, Nikki Grilly, Heather Lamb, Amy Baxter, Stacy Anderson, The Plants Meow, and Jedi KCC. You guys are the shit. You're all on my Christmas card list this month, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. We love you guys. Peace out. Later, taters. Bye.